Hey gamers, it's Gentle Ben, and the question I'm wondering is, will players come back to Battlefield 2042 now that we're going to finally get a scoreboard? Battlefield Direct Communications has provided some good information on patches 3.2 and 3.3. Now the player base, according to Steam charts, has obviously shown quite a drop in the amount of concurrent players. And yes, console players are definitely providing a lot more support when matchmaking, because if I turn off crossplay, I'm most likely going to end up in a match with AI players, which is really annoying. So update 3.2 is going live tomorrow, January 20th. This should provide a handful of small fixes and improvements to the game focused around stability. Now I think what's really interesting is update 3.3, which is supposed to arrive in mid to late February. A little late for my birthday, but I'm glad that DICE is finally providing some sort of information and updates to the game, considering that Season 1 hasn't even started yet, but is rumored to start sometime in March. The new scoreboard at least shows more information: scores, kills, assists, revives, captures, and defense, but of course it's missing the number of deaths. Also, it's a bit confusing how to assess who is the enemy team and who is your current team, other than just knowing that the different color determines whether or not this is your team, your squad, or the enemy team based on blue, green, and red. I really don't think there's a need to reinvent the wheel or try and innovate that much on this scoreboard from past Battlefields. I would say just start with the Battlefield 4 scoreboard. If there's too many players on a game to actually fit on one screen, just do the auto scroll mechanism down to at least, where I'm represented on this scoreboard, assuming I'm not in the top 50. Also, why not just split the scoreboard left side friendly team, right side enemy team? I don't really think there's a need to keep the old scoreboard, the first iteration of live progression while you were playing. Maybe just leave that somewhere in the options when you press escape to check your ribbon progression, since that always seemed to be bugged where you couldn't properly see the description for the intel ribbon. They're also providing a way to gain XP in the portal mode, which is great. I think that would make me want to play Portal more often. And of course, we're getting voice over IP or just some sort of in-game communications with voice comms. So I'm glad to see that we're finally getting an update, and DICE will finally add in what they've deemed as legacy features. But I've taken a few weeks off of playing Battlefield in favor of playing Halo Infinite, because that game just is fun. While I think Battlefield 2042 is still a fun game, I was just continuously disappointed with the lack of improvements in communication. The weekly missions aren't interesting enough to make me want to grind that much for them, and just still the poor optimization and performance of Battlefield 2042 just makes me want to go back to Battlefield 4 or just continue playing Halo Infinite. Those games just run so much better and look a lot cleaner, and as they say, more frames win games. So the specific communication provided about game performance is this: our teams continue to analyze the data available to us and develop further optimizations that enable the game to make best use of your hardware. In every update, we'll be delivering changes, big and small, that aim to tackle the issues and improve your experience. So I understand the statement being somewhat vague and saying, okay, we're going to continue to work on this issue, because clearly they have to put out an update to see if there's some sort of proof providing the fact that optimizations may have improved, and hopefully every patch doesn't include some new game-breaking bug. I'd really like to just get a stable 80 FPS on low settings. I have an Intel i7 4790K, and I have a GTX 1070, and I have 16 gigs of RAM. For the past few years, I've been able to play in 1440p at 60 FPS and 1080p above 100 FPS, aside for games like Hunt Showdown. So I still want to remain hopeful, and I'm glad that we've got some good information and that changes are coming. While it is an old Battlefield meme to say things are changing or improving soon, I'm really hoping that these next patches and the start of Season 1 will finally bring players back to the new Battlefield, away from Battlefield 5, because they want to play the game again. It's not a good feeling spending over $60 for a new Battlefield game and then going back and reinstalling old Battlefield games because the new game is in such a poor state. I'm glad the community and content creators have kept up with the changes and lack of changes and have made the statements and have voiced their opinions and issues on the game loud and clear enough that DICE really just needs to respond and start providing indication that they want to support this game. So leave a comment and let me know if you're still playing Battlefield 2042 and what it would take for you to want to come back to playing if you've already moved on. We need new maps, we need new weapons, and we need optimization. Providing legacy features is nice to see, but it is still just the bare minimum of expectations that I had for the game at launch. So thanks for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.